Welcome to another Seesaw Scenario with Eric and Mark Playground Rules podcast. This scenario will be a little different. Each of us will bring a message of hope and guidance that is tantamount with this Christmas season, as we each sum up what we've learned this season through our Seesaw Scenarios. As established in several episodes, and as Seesaw Scenarios have shown, the playground is a complex and sometimes deviant place. I had 4 dreams last night, which is very uncommon for me, and they were centered around one theme: priorities. So I figured this Seesaw Scenario would be about priorities. After all, 'tis the season. If we think about it, when we're introspectively looking at it, the playground, when dysfunctional, is a place of misguided priorities. Where personality is valued over character, who you know is more important than the value you could bring if given the opportunity, where leadership and its spoils are given out with zero regard for merit, and what it means to be successful and how to acquire it is a moving target because it is established by the fluctuating opinion of a playground executive and their whim. From the victim's perspective, the misguided priority is about figuring out, why am I being picked on? What have I done to deserve abuse? Am I not good enough? Why doesn't anybody like me? Why does it seem like people are not only okay with my demise, but on some sick and demented level, praying and rooting for it? All valid questions, but we can't let that drive us daily. On another note, as food for thought, as we prioritize perspective and priorities, bullying is in essence getting the unfair advantage over others because you can. In some sense, everybody here and there, every now and again, and on any given day, may be bullying somebody unintentionally and without knowledge. Remember, it's about perspective and priority. Those that are straight up through and through bullies are not going to be listening to this message, although I believe and I am confident that I can speak for everybody at this table when I say it is our hope that they one day wake up and see the damage they're doing and begin to make amends. To all you playground executive bullies out there, you really are destroying people's lives and people's futures. If after reflection and careful introspection and consideration you've discovered that you bully people unintentionally sometimes, this is a moment to take inventory of that and make amends, because you too are hurting people and hurting their futures. Although everyone at this table are playground experts, we are far from perfect. At least I am far from perfect. And Steve Harvey once said, paraphrase, let's not all walk around here pretending we're the only ones that get hurt. If you're out there and I've hurt you in some way, wherever you are, please forgive me. Straight up bullies, quasi-bullies, and victims. This season is about priorities. Full-blown bullies and quasi-bullies. This challenge is for you. The challenge is to recognize the wrong you're doing and be proactive and use the strength, the gifts, the blessings, and the talents that God has given you for good, to lift others up and to encourage others. After all, people do look up to you for some strange reason that is one of the many mysteries of the playground rules phenomenon. And the victims of bullying, to you, your priority needs to be focused on what really matters. You don't need to lean on some bully's understanding to ascertain what your worth is. God works all things together for the good of those that believe in him and are called according to his purpose. God works through people, places, and things on the playground. Please don't let how you are treated affect how you treat others. Every day, find something that strengthens your spirit, your mind, and your body. Stay strong and on the side of good, and eventually some good, maybe not the good that you hope for, but definitely some good will happen. Here's how God puts it in Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. A very Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to all of you. May God's blessings, prosperity, and peace await you in the new year, and may you be wise enough to know where to look for them and ready in heart to receive them.
Eric, that was quite the season-ending summary, or 'tis the season-ending summary. That is a tough act to follow. There's a lot to unpack there. So I agree with your talking points. I have a slightly different angle on a few of them, and that's okay, because we agree, we see eye to eye on things, and sometimes we put a little bit of a different spin on it. The main thing is that we care, and our listeners care. I really do believe that, because that's why they're tuned in. We have to choose the side of good versus evil. We have to choose whether or not we're going to bully and continue to support the world's injustices by taking advantage of others on an ongoing basis, knowingly taking advantage of them, or if we are going to stand against that as a part of a cause, or if we're going to sit that one out. Now, if we're sitting out to a large degree, that means we're to some degree enabling or being complicit of the social injustices and the bullying. So you kind of have to pick one of the other two sides, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean you can save every single person who's being bullied from that situation. You have to weigh the advantages and disadvantages and think about yourself and your loved ones as well. But as a universal cause, in your heart, I really believe that you should want those social injustices to be corrected. Whether it's your social side of the spectrum, your political side of the spectrum, your ethnic side of the spectrum, which is being victimized, or doing the victimizing, it still hurts, no matter who is the recipient of it. It's very, very important to acknowledge that. Now, you had made a point there, Eric, about maybe unknowingly bullying somebody. That's a subject which is a matter for debate, and I think you made some good points. I'm not going to debate that entirely, but I want to offer the angle that if somebody is going to be able to profoundly admit sincerely that they don't know if they've been bullying somebody else, maybe they need a definition of the word bullying. Fine. But that means that they're not doing enough self-reflection. It means that they're not living the right way. If a person wrongs another person, hurts their feelings, and realize that they hurt their feelings, especially if it's a loved one, the first thing that they should be asking themselves, and I'm not saying anybody has a perfect moral compass, I don't either. I made my mistakes. I'm a sinner just like anybody else. You know, whether we're talking about religion or otherwise, I've made mistakes. But the first thing that we should be wondering is, did we wrong that person? Did we treat that person fairly? Did we use our leverage against that person? And let's say it doesn't happen right away. Okay, fine. A day, a week, a month, a year. Okay? I really believe that the people who are doing the bullying are not doing and not knowing they're doing the bullying, they're not doing a sufficient amount of self-reflection. You've got to either do the self-reflection through religion, or you've got to go ahead and do the self-reflection if you're not a religious person, you don't consider yourself a religious person, just in terms of what kind of world you live in and what kind of children you want to live in. There really is no gray area. You have to care. And if you don't care, then you have to, at that point, ask yourself what kind of person you really are. Again, this is not me saying that I have a moral compass or that I have a perfect moral compass or that I've always acted perfectly. I'm not judging anybody else. I'm saying this is for people to not judge others. This is for people to judge themselves. This is an evaluation on a day-to-day basis of who you are. Because at the end of the day, however you live, when everybody else goes to sleep, you put the children to bed and your spouse lays down, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever else you have that's important. When you are alone for however many moments per day, you're alone with yourself, that is the person you have a relationship with. You have to be happy with the priorities of that person, the choices of that person, and ask yourself if that person is living the right way, the way they want to live. It's an inexact science. You're not necessarily going to hit the mark. I don't think that anybody alive probably hits the mark. Even Buddhists in Tibet, from books that I've read, say, hey, you know what? We tried to do it perfectly. We're not perfect, but we're getting close to that kind of perfection as possible. Again, it's very, very important to self-reflect and to ask yourself, okay, am I using my leverage unfairly against other people? And doing it on an ongoing basis. If the answer to that is yes, you still have hope because you've asked yourself the right question. If the answer to that is no, God bless you. God bless you in any case. If the answer to that is I don't know, well then maybe you got to reflect a little bit more. Okay? I wish you all the best, much love, and much hope and peace. Time to choose a side, good versus evil, bullying versus not bullying. And like I said, if you're complicit in bullying, then unfortunately for you, you have to make some tough choices ahead. Everybody has a choice to make. I think that we should be given an opportunity, unless we've participated in horrible acts of evil, to turn it around. I wish you all the best. Merry Christmas, and whatever other holidays you may celebrate. Much love.